JC, yeah.
Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
TiVoMike!
Hello and welcome back. We are in a whole brand new season. This is our season premiere. Even the unspecified virus from the unspecified origin can't keep us away or our shows from returning. Our shows are back with a vengeance.
Oh, yeah.
And we're broadcasting live to tape down from our studio here in Providence, Rhode Island. This is a TiVoMike Show. I'm your humble host, Stevie here, my best friend, the show's entertainment guru, the future mayor of Woonsocket, Mike Damian Warner.
Saints, it's so good to be back.
It feels so good.
So good
To be back.
Dum-dum-dum. I love it. I love it. Today we're going to talk. Oh my God. Are we going to talk about Chicago Med?
It is time for Righteous Recap.
Med, first off, giving Maggie the send-off was something I didn't know we needed. It was nice. It was just enough for her to leave, but it was nice enough for us to know as fans that she didn't leave on bad terms.
Wait, which one's Maggie?
No, sorry, not Maggie. Thank you. Natalie. I apologize.
I was like, what?
Maggie's
I'm like,
not
what
going
episode
anywhere.
did I watch?
No, Natalie. I meant Natalie. Manning
all
is why.
she said to her daughter was go in the room and, give the bad news.
Give the hardest. Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then I cried. I was like, oh, you have to say the time of death, which was actually a lie because they were dead before you went in it. But anyway.
Right. You should do the whole thing. But I mean,
anyway.
giving Natalie that little send off in the beginning, no, she left on good terms
Yes.
with the back house.
But they love trying to subvert expectations.
Right.
By starting the scene with him putting stuff away. I'm like, yes, he's leaving.
Oh, they did it to you?
This is going to be so good.
I'm sorry.
He's leaving. And I was like, but I thought Natalie was the one who confessed. I go, well, maybe because I always have bad memory. I go, maybe I remembered it wrong.
Maybe they're leaving together.
Maybe they're leaving together. And then they'll be off. They did get married. Well, they were supposed to get married and all this. So what happened to all that love? So she just is all happy to leave.
She couldn't
Oh,
wait.
you're so happy to leave now.
She couldn't wait.
What was the whole drama last year? You could be like, yeah, I took the thing off the thing right away. I'm not hiding it the whole time. Fire me because I'm ready to move.
Right.
Chicago has bad memories. My mom is sick. I got to be the thing. I got to see my ex-husband or my ex-fiance all the time.
Right.
Who'd ask stupid questions. Do you remember? Yes! I always remembered, and I didn't know how to tell you.
I love it. But I love the send-off. It was perfect. It was nice.
Yeah,
it wasn't overdone. Right.
It was like before the opening, right?
Even before the Chicago
words.
Med.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It was perfect. I do want to welcome a couple of new people to the show. So first off, Dr. Stevie Hammer. She is played by Kristen Hager.
Okay, welcome.
Dr. Dylan Scott. He's played by Guy Lockhart Jr.
All right.
And I also want to just welcome back Aja Cooper, Dr. Taylor, who's played by Aja Cooper.
Okay.
And that's Maggie's daughter.
Ah,
so the other two...
welcome to the cast.
Yes. So the first one, Dr. Stevie Hammer, she's the lady that Will apparently knew from med school, and she made sure he knew he was second to her.
Oh, yes, that's right.
So she's new. Can we do something, please, NBC writers?
Thank you.
Can we stop putting these blondes in? I don't mean to be mean, but I thought she was the girl who had the addiction problem last season that Will was trying to save so bad. So I got confused because you know how she left abruptly and then she came back in.
Nobody else to help his storyline.
Not even for storyline.
Because
but if
he's
we're going to bring
not
somebody in,
interested.
can we change it up a little
No,
bit?
they can't. That's the problem. And then he's going to be all love struck for her,
Right.
somehow, and then she's going to be a wackadoo and try to kill him in a room, or she's going to have a bad father who's sick. And she's going to steal pills from somewhere. It's like, it's the same.
Well, I mean, you're right, because her mom
so it's
is homeless. We find out by the end of the episode that...
It's like, really?
Right. So,
No.
I will say,
That was
it's a
a
little
dumb-
weird that you're a doctor, but your mom is homeless. But that's just me.
Thank you. Yeah, people have problems, economic problems, and they will want everyone's paycheck to paycheck. If you miss one, if you don't have friends and family, yeah, you're going to be on the road. And if you have a sickness, you're going to be on the road.
Right.
But if you have family or if you have friends, you don't be on the road. And I don't put that on the homeless people. I put that on the friends and family.
Right. Exactly. No, exactly. Because
That's-
you already know the person about to be homeless is too proud.
Right.
So that's
fine.
your job as a friend or family. But hey, listen,
Right.
I don't got much or whatever the case is, but here's what
something.
it is.
Right. You're not going to be on the road.
Right.
What's your address?
Thank you.
Between 14 Badger and 13th Street. No.
So, but I did like.
I hope they fix that quick.
Yeah,
and then
I
make it
did
a
like.
different trajectory.
That's exactly. I'm hoping they do change the trajectory because I don't want that for her. Mostly because she was actually a damn good doctor. Like, it was a very couple of small scenes that you get to introduce her, but you get a laugh out of who she was.
Yes.
Then you catch this random thing with the Jasmine, the little girl with the sickle cell anemia, and then her mom's knee, and then all of a sudden she. What I will tell you, when she hit her with the "Do you sleep in the car?"
Wow.
I love how the proudness in her was like, "Why do I have to sleep in my car? Because I'm black." But she didn't say it. She said,
right.
Why you sleep in my car?"
Why would you
and
assume
she was,
that?
"Well, because I've seen that." And I even like more that she called out Dr. Scott. Dr. Scott, even though I wasn't a fan of it, I don't like when doctors, when you're in the same profession,
right?
if you have a disdain for how they've handled something,
Right.
there's a different way to do it. So I didn't like that she was like, "Weren't you part of CPD? You don't know about people sleeping in their cars?" Like,
oh, that's
like,
right, yeah.
come on, girl, don't dog him.
Don't do that. Just because he assumed about you, about the other neighborhoods.
Right.
Well, they don't help sickle cell because they're not white or whatever. Like, don't tit for
Which he
tat.
did do.
Yeah.
And I got where he was coming from, because not so much saying that her neighborhood wouldn't. It's just they're not exposed to it, so the
But she's a doctor,
information
so
of
she
it
would
wouldn't.
know.
Right.
So that's what you didn't need to say.
And that's why, exactly. So
that's why you don't need to tit for tat back to him.
Right.
Just
thank you. Just be
yeah,
better.
Right.
What did Michelle
Michelle
say?
Obama.
Rise
When they
above.
go low,
When they go low, we go high. Come on. Where'd you go? Come
and
on.
Hollywood really does believe that.
Right.
Anytime anyone else goes low, they're getting high.
That was good. I like that. That was good. That was good. I like that. So, favorite part.
Yes.
I was so happy to get this dialogue. I didn't even know I wanted this dialogue. Dean versus Daniel. Archer versus Charles.
That's right.
It was the best. First off, let me just say how happy I was to see my boy from Wings working full time. Not quite being a bad guy, but definitely not being a good guy.
Right.
He's like right there in the middle.
He's good. He's bad to them because he wants to get things done.
Yes, well, see, and that's the thing.
I
So
love that.
I think.
Don't you feel guilty?
I
don't
think
feel guilty at all. You're the one who took out his spleen. I think about that every day.
Right. Well, I love that he was like. I love that he was like. Well, don't you feel bad because had you did your thing, he wouldn't have shot Ethan. He goes, no.
No. If you didn't take out a spleen,
If you didn't, go against his wishes, he goes, we wouldn't have been in any of this situation.
Yeah.
And I love
and then
how.
he says, and that's what I think about every day. And just walked right away.
Yes, he didn't even give him a rebuttal.
Right.
Like,
just kept going.
Let me tell you, how come everyone looks like they lost weight during the pandemic? Because Dr. Charles is looking a little lean. I was like, okay, Dr. Charles. He didn't look so, because last season, especially with everything going on, he was all like bloated. I'm like, oh man, this guy is like on his way to a heart attack. And now he's like, okay, got a little pandemic weight off. I like that.
I haven't noticed. I'll have to watch again more closely.
You know what it is? I noticed here in like the neck area, because like the way his like, the jacket, just the way he was dressed, like it just seemed more like he was alive.
Right, maybe that's why he's more punchy now.
Yeah, I think that's what he came. He got some. He's hungry.
He's a little.
Sorry, I couldn't. What I did love is Archer knows his own strengths and weaknesses. So when those twins came in,
oh my God!
First off,
so sad.
can we talk about how crazy those twins were?
Can you stick me too?
And he was like, no.
What? Like, why would I? What are you doing?
We're the same.
It's about her right now.
Right. Oh.
And if you were the same, you'd be in bed too.
Thank you. So I loved all that. I even loved that he was like, go get Charles. Like, we need Dr. Charles now.
But again, these people, they love to try to subvert expectations. And I hated when they had the surgery part. And he said to her, like, something like, we're counting down Emma. And I go, why would he say the name? I go, she knows who she is. I go, because that ain't her. And they're gonna make an extra point. I go, well, I don't know if the show's willing to do that. And then of course the next scene, when the girls are sitting there, like, I go, well, hold on, she has no reason to be holding her stomach. She'd be more pissed off.
Right.
You're not sticking her with something. So and then he said her name. Right. It was like the equivalent. So that writer who wrote Do you remember?
It's still there.
Is still there.
Right.
And he's like,
well, the thing is,
I know what's going to happen just because I didn't write the first few scenes. They're going to have a false security.
Well, no, what they did was they said, all right, we're going to let you stay on. But you can't foreshadow the foreshadow.
Thank you.
All right? We're not trying to be all the way predictable like every other show that's in medical. So you got to relax a little. He's like, all right, yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
and that was one that just got by the editor because they just was like, it aired and they were like, damn. All right.
It got through.
Someone read his notes. He did it on purpose. Was that in the script edit we didn't get? Hold on a minute.
Right.
But I did like how that. I loved that that scenario. I loved that whole dynamic. I missed. I did, dude. I did miss Ethan.
Right.
It was just weird not seeing him. I know why we didn't see him, but it was just weird to not see him.
Well, that's why.
Right.
Know.
The physical therapy. It's just weird because.
And there's a whole shutdown.
Stop.
He feels a little guilty. He just feels a little. He's like, I don't want my character out there, you know.
I did like Crockett. Crockett is still good.
But Asian lives matter, people.
Yes.
And I'm ready for representation.
Stop Asian hate.
That's right. Because how are Asians going to be able to do things like become really smart doctors if there's no represent? Oh, they already are. So.
Got him. But I love Dr. Crockett or Dr. Marcel Crockett.
Oh, okay, yes.
He's just good.
Why don't I know anybody's name? I've been watching the show for like 4 years.
I wish we got more of him in Connor together.
Which one's Connor?
Connor was the one that the hybrid OR was built for. Because his family's money.
That's right. Okay.
I think the two of them together definitely could have made this
pretty good.
show a much better trajectory. Even with all the bachelor, because you know why they're both bachelors, so they both could be doing the bachelor thing, but also still coming in and being doctors. And and they both were good at being professional.
And they're both non-dramatic at work.
Right. So it was like
they just get stuff done. Like when Crockett at this one said he was wrong. He was wrong.
Right, and he was okay.
Then he apologized. Yeah,
Will, you know what? You were right. You did know her better.
Ego.
Right.
He just wants to get done the things that he has that 100%
and his
people
little bit
not
of story
dying.
you got was nice. You know, he lost a
just a little
daughter.
bit. Not everybody needs that. And this is just selfishly, and I know we're not ready for that in this world.
Right.
But I would just love a character who just has no bad story. Don't not give them a storyline.
Okay.
But give them a happy storyline. No sadness.
Gotcha. Well,
no sad.
Unfortunately.
Thing.
Just like
just
with they won't do it though because it even proven to be so well for the.
That's true. They won't do it.
What is the show? The Voice, season 19 or season 20. American Idol did 20 years and left. Now it's back on Disney, and everybody who gets through has a sad story. It's just for the ratings. They want to feel and
suck at your heart,
pity at you.
Yes.
Don't damn pity me. Leave me on the street then.
And that makes sense because you're not good.
Right.
If you're on The Voice, you know, not
well, I would say The Voice itself is great because they're not
good at doing it the right way, which is you get an agent,
right?
You did an album, and then they release it, and the world hears and goes boom chaka bow. You know, like if you think of the great people. Now, I don't know all the new great people. I know Weeknd is considered a great person, I guess. He's new.
Weeknd, yeah.
And Drake, and those kind of new people. So you don't hear a sad story about Drake or The Weeknd that made you buy Drake or The Weeknd's albums.
True.
Or the bad thing about Taylor Swift. I mean, the only bad thing about her was that, you know, she didn't get to do her winning speech because Kanye, the black man, got in her way. Right? That's her sad story. There was no, you didn't go, oh, I'm going to watch Taylor Swift because her bad story.
Right.
It was just your talent. But if you're on a show like The Voice or American Idol, well, you're no one yet. You're just what, so people have to vote for you, and we have to get you to the point. So yeah, we need you know, we want to know that we helped you, that we did it,
right? Just help me do it. Why do I have to be so depressed?
With the show, I didn't help Crockett become a doctor.
True.
So I'll give you that happiness, gloriness, and that's, I know we're not ready for that, but I would just love a story because it's like I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of having like this homeless mom.
I'm surprised you cried. I'm impressed.
Yes, when she gave the time, and you know that's been in every, because they kill people all the time in the show,
especially in med.
Yeah, in med all the time. As soon as they come in, I go, dead man walking, and sure enough, or they're crazy. I mean, not crazy, mentally unstable, who needs help and representation. So you know all the good stuff. And when they have this one, and she had to go 405, and it's her first time doing it. And then she says to him, oh, you know, we did everything we could. And when she walked away, and then she was crying because this impacted her, I cried at that.
Right.
That's
and I have to tell you, I was so mad that she was the only doctor around. There was no doctor who's been around forever.
Thank you.
To go in there and do that. 1, 2, Maggie couldn't even hug her. Because she's got to keep the boundary, but at the same time, that's the moment that you needed to.
Yes, because she's literally trying to keep her. That was her request,
right?
She goes, I don't want you to do anything, and so Maggie was towing the line of like, is it okay if I just tap you on the shoulder? And she was like,
it's
yeah,
going to be
fine.
okay. Yeah.
It's fine.
Right. So I loved it. It was great.
So good.
I'm really excited that we didn't get too much of a Maggie Vanessa like mother-daughter story.
Yes.
Like I like that.
And I was glad that the daughter didn't go, do you remember? I was like, that's progress. You know? Do you remember?
I will say, I do like Dr. Scott. I don't.
Which one's Dr. Scott?
That's the black guy, the new black guy, the doctor who caught the kid with the snake bite, and he was like, "Was that like a gang initiation?"
Good.
But I don't. I remember
like how he
him.
talked to the patient. That was really good. And he talked to him like a person,
right?
Not as a kid.
Yeah. Well, I remember him from Chicago PD,
right?
And I was thinking when he showed up, I'm like, wait, this dude's a doctor. So when he said, "Oh, I was at CBD for briefly," he wasn't on it like an actual character that we got to see, like we got to know. He was on it like there was a couple scenes where there's more cops.
Oh, good for him.
And he was there, and you could see him suit up. It's mostly in Atwater's early days when Atwater was still a beat cop.
Good for him.
So I was like, when he said, I'm like, I knew he looked familiar because I'm looking at this guy like, how come I've seen him before? And then he said, "Steve," I'm like, this fool did the move because that's what I wanted Foster to do. I wanted her to go from fire to med,
right,
and be a doctor at med.
She'd be good.
But she's at Lakeshore because they don't kill people. So whatever.
She could have helped those numbers increase.
Right, she definitely could have
saved people's lives.
And
she could have been, Will, yes, everyone remembers. Will you sit down?
Please, she would have been so good for him.
Hey, just enough of that.
I loved Dr. Scott. I loved the whole sickle cell storyline. I love even more that the mom was so not tragic. I didn't care she slept in a car. Like, I hate to say that, but like,
right, it was.
I like that it was just like the arthritis is coming because she's not taking care of her body because she's so busy working and taking care of her child.
Right.
That she's just not realizing her own breakdown.
Own health. You have to take care of yourself.
I loved how we got that pulled out, and I like that it was a conversation. It was talk, and it wasn't assumed, and it wasn't like foreshadowed.
Right. It was just quick. It was just a boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And that goes to prove selfishly. I like when I'm proved correct. Because I just love being told I'm right. It proved parents need to put themselves first.
Right. Of course.
And there's this thing of, well, parents have to put the kids first. No BS to that.
Well, if you're not here, who's going to take care of the kids?
That's right. You take care of yourself. And kids, listen, kids are fine. Whatever happens to them, they're fine. You punch them in the face, they're fine. You throw them off the stairs, they're fine. You abuse them, they're fine. They're resilient. Right? All of us have been abused, kicked in the face, thrown off of roofs, ladders, told we're loved, whatever, not loved, told we're horrible, going to grow up just like our mom or dad. We all have been tragedized.
Right.
Doesn't matter. We're resilient that way. Right? I mean, a few of us, then grow up and become cannibals and kill people in the woods and then, kill our YouTube girlfriends and then run off to Canada. Some people are a little cray-cray. But most of the time, we get a job, we figure it out, we move forward. So what kids really want is for their parents to be awesome. We just want y'all to be good.
Right.
We want y'all to be happy. Oh, yes, thank you. We love that you make us happy. But we don't want any. And then, I tried to make you happy and I sacrificed all the things I wanted to do. And I'm like, yeah, that's why you sad. We don't want you to be sad. We don't want no sad
no one
dad,
wants
sad mom. We want you to be happy, vibrant. We want you to be what's her name? Imagine Taylor Swift's kids. And they go, Mom, you had like a lot of boyfriends and stuff, all these songs and and Dad, Mr. The Weeknd, you've when you found Taylor and became one and Mom and Dad, you gotta give them a power couple, you know what I'm saying? So we have Dad who's The Weeknd, doing great. Dad, you always had this weird hair. And you didn't care that everybody made fun of you for it? No, it's who I was. We love that about you, Dad. Mom with all these people. Love that for you, Mom. That's right. Get the cardigans from the Capital One commercials. Whatever you want. Just be happy. And then when we're growing up, we see, that's how you live. Right? You take care of your family and you have taken care of yourself. And then that does more to us.
Right.
Teach us what to do. And then you don't have this cycle of kids take care of parents and the other way of dumb stuff and all this. So I love that.
Right. And it was perfect.
It was perfect for that scene. And they did it within 5 seconds.
Right. It didn't make it a long drawn out thing.
Boom, boom.
Oh, yes.
And it was logical to the issue.
Right.
Well, first of all, I didn't assume anything because of how poor or rich you were or the color of your skin. I saw symptoms.
You stood up and fell.
Right. And then he says you had this and you had this pain and the aspirin, blah, blah, blah. That's how I know. Oh.
Loved it.
The aspirin's not going to be good. No. Okay. I was like, go for it.
It was so good. It was so good.
There was a cool line at the end. I thought that was kind of messed up, but it's real. They go, it took her daughter's sickle cell for her to have a bed.
Right.
And I was like, that's real. That's real. I said, it did.
Crazy.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that is crazy. And it's funny because when they said it too, it was like a glazed over, not glazed over moment. Like you either caught it real quick.
You're like, ooh.
I was like, y'all just hitting in the fields real quick for no reason.
Like,
I'm still mad about what happened to Vanessa. Make her go in that room and tell her that lady passed away. Where's her doctor? Vanessa wasn't her doctor.
And the doctor's mom is the one that at least she has a tent.
Right.
So her knees are fine. Thank God you got out of that van. I was like,
oh man, guys, it is good to be back.
Yeah, it is good to be back. The shows are, the quality is there. You take that sickness,
right,
and disease and petulance and famine and all that good stuff. All right, listen, guys, let me just tell you this. This season is already different.
Right.
What I'm ready to tell you, you already know because you're listening to it already. But my co-host has no idea yet, so he's hearing this for the first time. So I thank you that for so many seasons you've been with us. We've been able to grow and mature and become on more and more platforms.
Right.
We started off on just Blog Talk Radio, on that mess, but we love them.
Right.
They're not mess, they're awesome.
That's right.
And they're now part of Spreaker, ironically.
Nice.
So boom shakalaka to the cat's meow. And then Spreaker got wrapped up, and now we're part of iHeartRadio. So iHeartRadio bought Spreaker, who bought Blog Talk. So we're now
full circle
everywhere, right? We're on all these platforms. We're on Sirius. We're on Bixby. We're on
Amazon,
Alexa. We're everywhere now. Everywhere you can listen to podcasts, we're on every single platform. And now, we are on YouTube. I just thank you so much. I thank you. Let it continue to grow. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
The YouTube gods. I mean the algorithm. And it lets more and more people find our show. So if you know other TV files out there, other TV fanatics who love to relive it all. Each episode, you had fun watching it, but then you're going to have more fun reliving the moments and talking about each scene to scene and what you're going to see for next week and all this stuff and like-minded community. Then you're right here by subscribing. It's free. Make sure you hit that bell notification icon as well.
What?
That's exciting stuff. So anyway.
This guy.
And I forgot our old outro, so here's a new outro. Continue to watch the shows you love.
Right.
And stop the ones you don't. Talking to you, Grays. Bye-bye.
The TiVoMike Show is produced by Michael Jefferson. Our soundboard operator is Mike Warner. And our theme music is by Eric Dano. I want to give a special thanks and shout out to our family and friends who make it so we can do this show. That's it for the TiVoMike Show. I'm Mike Warner. See you tomorrow when we guide the lost TV viewing saints to the myriad of banal TV shows amongst the low-hanging fruit to find the next great addictive series. Good night.